All right, I'm afraid we're moving from one tragic event to another. It's been a week now since the storm that devastated large parts of the Eastern Cape. The death toll currently stands at 90 and is still expected to rise. SABC News reporter Nkululeko Nyembezi is part of our team at Jumba Secondary School in Mthatha and joins us now live for an update. And Nkululeko, that's the school, of course, we understand, that had pupils faring those 13 passengers in that 22-seater scholar bus transport that ultimately was washed away. We'll try to re-establish once again that connection with Nkululeko Nyembezi. But just to take you back to that moment when we initially were starting to really come around to grasping the extent of the tragedy, one of the first chilling details that emerged at the time was that there were about 13 passengers in that 22-seater scholar bus transport that was on its way to school. I think it was a Tuesday morning. What subsequently emerged from Santako is that the driver of that scholar transport reached out for help, but by the time that help had arrived, unfortunately, it was a little too late. So Nkululeko Nyembezi once again is at that school where I imagine, Nkululeko, there's still so much grief and trauma surrounding what happened.
Indeed, and yeah, it's still the same situation as before, because when we arrived here in the morning, we could see that some of the learners were really still thinking about what actually happened. We are told that 8 learners from this school alone perished in that incident, and 2 other learners are still missing. So we have to speak to the principal of the school, just maybe to find out from him as to how is the situation now, because we understand that this incident really affected emotionally and psychologically, especially the families and learners that are left behind.
Yes, yeah. Firstly, it has affected, that is, the learners, the families, and actually the whole school community. As a result, yesterday we were visiting these families. The families of the 10 people who have been perished in that incident. So we visited 10 of them, although there are still 2 learners who are still missing, and also the 8 who passed on that incident. So we visited, so those families were so devastated. And when we come inside, when they see me, particularly as a principal, they just start crying, you see. So that is the problem, is they are still in shock. Others, they are still in denial. So it's very, very, very bad situation.
So I understand that social workers were deployed here to make sure that at least they give psychosocial support.
Yes, the Department of Education gave us psychosocial support, and if OR Tambo municipality, they deploy their own psychologists and other people who can assist these learners through the whole process of trying to stabilize the situation here.
Thank you very much, sir. That's a principal of Jumba Senior Secondary School. But now let me just talk to these. These are the 3 survivors. These are 3 learners that survived the ordeal. I just want to talk to them because they were telling me that during that time, really it was very bad. They had to hang on the trees for almost 4 hours without any assistance. Mhlawumbe igama lakho khona ucakisela igama lakho nesene?
Ummelane Mdlalo.
Kwenzeka ntoni?
Oh, so jama sasiphama. Jama imoto yayiyangena ke ebridgini, then imithi yayiyabetha ifestile, so ifestile zophuka ngoko, then ithe ke ngokutshona kwayo, but amanzi sewewe khona apha ebhasini. Utshona kwayo ke ngothina sakwazi uba siphume ngefestile engemva, then sayisaphuma ngefestile engemva, sazama udada ke ngoku, then sibamelele emithini. Then ke ngobamelela kuthi emithini kwango-6, since 6 until u-12 uphuma kwethu pha, and sasikodola because la manzi awebanda, and mna ndaluza itshomi yam ndathi sendiyiseyivile, but amanzi andihlula mna because wathi kumubona inyoka, then wazitshonisa emanzini, wangena emanzini wahamba namanzi.
Yeah, she's saying that it was around 6 o'clock when the bus stuck on the bridge, and then it just fell over the bridge, the river, and then the windows were broken, and then learners had to come out of the bus through the windows. And then some of them, they were hanging on the trees almost for 4 hours. And then she's saying that she saw a snake because she tried to grab her friend, and then as they were hanging on a tree, then the snake came, and then her friend just let it go, then she was swept away. But now let me talk to this learner here who was also part of the students that were in that bus. Kwenzeka ntoni so ngaphakathi ngona emfuleni kwenzeka ntoni ku?
Yahamba ibhasi namanzi, and then sazama ke ngokuba kuphuke ifestile yami ibhasi sibetheke, and then ifestile yophuka, and then sahamba saphuma izifestileni sahamba namanzi, andaba samizuzu mengaphi, but sakwa kungekho nemithi, so sayibamba phambili imithi kanjalo, yenzeka kanjalo, sayibamba phambili nemithi.
Yes, telling almost the same story with the first survivor here. And this young man here, what actually happened?
Into yenzeke phaya ibimbi kakhulu ngoba sibone kabuhlungu xa kwala bhasi phaya ebridgeini. Silahlekelwe ngabantu abaninzi singabantwana besikolo. Kubuhlungu. Amanzi ayiphaya ayimaninzi. Kunqongophele nendawo zokubambelela. Kodwa uThixo wasenzela incebo wasibonisa imithi. Then sabambelela emithini. Sabambelela emithini kusenjalo kungo-6 ekuseni. Sathi sabambelele lo mithi wahlumile wabona inyoka. Waziyeka wangena emanzini. Ndathi ndisahleli xa ndiphukuza ndayibona lapha emveni kwami. Then ndayibamba ndayijula emanzini. So sakhwaza ke ngoko sicela uncedo but siye abantu bebekhona besithembisa ukuba uncedo liyeza qha abalazi balezawufika nini. Kwabe bekudala siphaya sigodola wabe umilani umzimba esemanzini egodola ndabe ndiyiva nami ingqele uba kuyabanda. Sancedwa ke sakhutshwa kona nohlobo esakhutshwa ngalo sakhutshwa ngesikhepe esiyi-1 andiyazi uba yayisenziwa yintoni lodwa kodwa siyabulela.
Yeah, he's saying that really he was, while they were on that particular river, they saw trees and then they had to hang on those trees, and then one of the fellow learner saw a snake and then he let it go, so because it was so dangerous for them to hang on for a long time. He's also saying that they had to wait plus minus 4 hours, and they don't understand why. Also, they don't understand why there was only one boat which was used to rescue them. That's the story of these survivors here.
Heavy listening to do and difficult to take in. I mean, those children have survived the kind of ordeal that I think adults would struggle to wrap their heads around. What kind of support do you know they're receiving as they try, of course, in some ways move forward? Because I think it's really hard to move on from something like this.
Yes, it is very hard indeed, but we spoke to the principal here and we spoke to the provincial office here in the Eastern Cape. Indeed, they are providing psychosocial support, and they are making sure that all of them, even the staff members here, teachers, learners, even the parents, those that have lost their learners, they are receiving that support. That is the information that we are getting from the principal. So it's like that, and then it continues to be really a center of, in fact, because that's where the incident started, by the bus. So we have been seeing a number of ministers coming down here to Mthatha just to provide support. Also humanitarian organizations coming down to Mthatha because really they need help. We visited some of the centers. I think yesterday it was very bad. People were screaming at the leaders here saying that they don't understand. Yes, at Norwood, just in Mthatha, they were saying that they have been ignored for some time. The incident happened 5 days ago, and then they have been waiting for local leaders to come and see them. How are they coping? But they're saying that it was too late for the local leaders to come and assess the situation after 5 days. But later they agreed on the way on paving the way forward in terms of assisting them by providing food and clothes that they were complaining about.
Yeah, of course, what this moment has also done is shown a spotlight on the long-standing issues around poor infrastructure, a lack of support for schools like the one where you're at, which in many ways, I imagine for the community feels like if those things had been addressed before this tragedy, the loss of life at the very least could have been completely avoided.
Exactly, because you remember that where this incident occurred, it's a national road. It's a road that connects Eastern Cape and Western Cape. It's N2. It's R61. But most of the people, they don't understand how this could have been in that situation. And some of the people, because I need to just to zoom in at other issues, there were people that were complaining about security in the area of Mthatha during this time, because yesterday we were told by the mayor of King Sabat, Dalingebo, Mr. Nelani, saying that alleged extortionists, they stopped the gift of the givers trucks from cutting water to the destitute families, and they threatened them that if they don't stop, they will face a very dangerous situation. So that was a main concern from the provincial leadership and local and regional, saying that it cannot be like that, because a humanitarian organization, they come to Mthatha to assist, to help, and if they ferry water to the communities, it won't be good, it won't be right for them to be threatened, because there are people who are fearing for their for the tenders, put that way. So the situation is like that. Today we are expecting Minister of Human Settlement, Mr. Simelane, who will be coming down to Mthatha just to assess the situation, because we understand that plus minus 3,000 homes were affected, and 1,000 of those homes were completely destroyed, and 600 partially demolished. So the situation is like that on the ground, but we are hoping that it will improve as we go ahead with this story.
Yeah, absolutely. Nkululeko Nyembezi, thanks very much indeed for that reporting.